And we're live. Hello, everyone. I am Sarah Simon. I am a Stampin' Up! Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Appleton, Wisconsin. And I have my guest stamper with me today, Jaye Ciontea. I am so excited to have her. When I am looking for ideas, Jay's cards are usually the first ones that I end up going to and saying, okay, how can I do this and make this into something that's different? Because her cards are phenomenal and you are going to be wowed by what she does today.
That's a two-way street because Sarah, you provide the enhance same motivation for me.
Okay, well,
So yes,
thank you.
you're welcome.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
one of the benefits really of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for me has been meeting some of these incredible people who have not just become other demonstrators to me, but really have become friends. And we've been able to go on different outings. We've been in Minnesota together, in Indianapolis, and oh my gosh, where else?
Yes,
St.
yeah.
We were in St. Louis? No,
No,
no.
I didn't do
But
that one.
anyway, we it's just fun to be able to share a hobby and get to know some different people. And I wanted to share because I did put it on my Facebook page, but some people were asking which kit is 35% off. It's actually the startup kit. So Stampin' Up! Is celebrating 35 years of being in business. And so what they're offering right now is you can get the starter kit, which is $125 worth of product, any product you want. Normally you pay $99 for that, but right now it's 35% off. Or if there's a whole bunch of stuff that you want to get, which I had somebody in my card buffet did this morning for $99. She got $168.75 worth of products. And she's like, oh my gosh, I got all this stuff for just $99 and free shipping. So it's a really, really good deal. And if you go to the Stampin' Up! Website, if you hit join now, they'll walk you through all of the steps. So I walked through those steps with her this morning. Looks like we've got Linda and Melanie and Sandy and Denise and Julie, Kelly, Dee all joining us. Thank you guys all. All of you said hello. So many of you said that you shared and you liked. I really, really appreciate that. I did have some happy mail that I thought I'd share with you. Sandy's on here. Look at this beautiful thank you card. This is such a cool, what she did was she kind of scored the corner of each of these pieces of designer series paper and flipped it back, and it made like a little center area to kind of show off her greeting where she put the thank you. So clever, Sandy. Thank you so much for that. And then Michelle Jones sent me this thank you card. And this was a layout that we used a few weeks ago. And she was kind of showing that she used the layout. It just has 3 strips of designer series paper, regular, and then she put the greeting in the center. And then the background has some embossing on it. So very, very cute cards. Thank you, ladies, so much. I also have some prizes to give away. So last week we were in the Halloween mood, and so we did this little gift box, which is the Tricks and Treat box. And I'm even going to send the little candy corn because God knows I
It's the
don't need
best.
that. It is so good, but I don't need that much sugar right now. I'm trying to cut back again because all that weight that I lost last year, like about 3/4 of it is back. So we got to get it off again. And then also we made this cute little tag that has all this little ribbon that you can attach to a bag and put a little gift in. Or just give this and you can put something on. I think I have to put some paper on the back here, some white. This is the sample that I had because my other one I tied to a bag. So receiving this for commenting last week is Kathy Bradley. Kathy, I don't have your address. So if you are watching, if you could just send me your address either in a private message on Facebook or it's create with Sarah LLC at gmail.com. So I would be happy to get that off to you. And then for sharing, so a bunch of you said that you shared already. Thank you so much. That gets other people introduced to my business, and I really, really appreciate that help. And it looks like we got Karen and another Linda joined on already as well. So receiving these, what are these called? Adhesive back glitter sequins, and some of the coveted glow in the dark paper for any of your Halloween or really, it could be that space
Mm-hmm.
set. I think you
Yeah.
could use this glow in the dark paper. I think kids would find it fun, really, for
Yeah.
anything, just to have glow in the dark paper for anything. This is going to Heather Kohler. So, Heather, I will get this, and I do have your address. I will get that off in the mail to you as well. I will be sending out, I know I said I was going to do it last weekend. I'm just waiting on a graphic from somebody who is helping me with some of my branding stuff this year. But I have my Deck the Halls with ink and paper, a stamping extravaganza coming up. That's going to be the first weekend in December. And I will have some virtual things. I cannot stamp anything and send it because of copyright. However, I can die cut things out, and you could use another stamp or you can purchase the stamp set. So I'm going to be making a card today with the stamp set that I'm using. But for the Deck the Halls, I'll those of you on my mailing list, I'll send it out to you. It is $55 to join. You get a half a pack of designer paper, a quarter of a pack of specialty paper. You get some sequins, you get some ribbons, you get the frame to make that 9 by 9 inch little sampler, and you get all of the supplies that you need to make 4 cards that come in a little a box that you can gift them in. Also, a wow card, and there is also a gift card holder, a treat holder, all kinds of stuff that you will be making that day. So, all that information should be coming out pretty soon. All right, that's all I have for announcements. Are you ready, lady?
I'm ready.
She
Let's
said she
roll.
was nervous. She wanted to go first to get it over with, but she is a natural and she is absolutely awesome. You are going to be so wowed by this. I'm so excited you're here. So I'm going to flip to my phone, and Jay is going to go first with her wow card.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Sarah. It is just an honor to have been asked to come in and show this. I didn't actually design this card. It was something I had seen from Gail Ellis from Australia. She's the one that put this together, but it is using the Oh Holy Night suite. Um, we're going to be using the paper and the stamp sets and dies. So um, if you haven't gotten this set yet, you need to because it's just gorgeous.
It is.
So um, they're looking at the DSP. There are several. I use a Starry Night DSP. So there's several sheets in here that you could use. So you could use the top part of this one. You could use this one that's got kind of these wisps that look like a galaxy. Um, or you can
So
use
pretty.
this one. And this is the one that I have used. So we'll get started. Get that out of your way. Okay, perfect. Teamwork is the dream work.
I
So
have very limited space here, so we're kind of crunched here. So
we're fine.
I will stack things
Yeah.
wherever I can.
So the card is going to start with the thick basic white, and it's a 5.5 by 11 inch sheet or piece scored at 4 inches and 8 inches. Then our Oh Holy Night DSP is 5.25 by 3.25. Take my stickies off here.
I know I do the same thing.
So, and then a Night of Navy coordinating cardstock, 5.25 by 2.75. And then a piece of silver glitter paper that's 3.5 by 3.5 square. So this is the new online product that is, you get a sheet of silver and a sheet of gold glitter paper, and it's self-adhesive on the back. Now this was not available when I made my first card for the retreat, but I have switched over to it because it makes it a little bit easier. So
That paper is so nice.
it's so nice.
What I love about our glimmer paper too is sometimes you get glimmer paper and you have glimmer over your whole workspace because it all comes off.
sheds.
Yeah, it
And
sheds.
this
And this
doesn't.
does not at all.
Mm-mm. So we have a square of that, and then we have a square of vellum that is also 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. And then we have some scraps for some die cutting. So white and navy scraps for stamping and die cutting. So I'm going to set those over here. I'm going to go back to my white cardstock. Again, this is 5.5 by 11, scored at 4 inches and 8 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that and burnish those edges to start. So this becomes the front of your card. And this piece is going in. This is actually going to become an easel card. And this is the thing I've screwed up on a couple of my attempts. Because it's an easel card. We want to do this edge and this edge, or side. And I have made the mistake of folding this in and thinking this is the piece that I need to decorate. So we'll come back to that, but we'll start with the front. And we're going to take our DSP, and that fits on there like so. So you've got your 1/4 inch or so border all the way around. And I need to temporarily adhere this because I'm going to run it through the cut and emboss machine. And I don't have any temporary tape, so I'm going to just take a glue dot and put that down on the white, and then center my DSP. Well, let's try it again. There we go. And then I'm going to use the Stylish Shapes dies, and I need the largest circle. So we'll take that out. Oh, it's still crooked.
Do you want some temporary tape?
Yeah, it'll hold once I get it in the
Okay.
machine.
Here's all the pieces.
Okay.
Teamwork again.
Yes.
Such a small space here. Sorry, ladies, or anyone who's watching, I guess. There might be some men watching.
True. So I'm going to feed this end through so I can see what is going on with this piece. And I do it a little off center. Rather than center that ring, I'm going to cut that hole a little off center. Oh, and of course
I find sometimes, Jane, I don't know if you're the same way, but whoops, you're good. Do you find that you do it off centered because if you try to do it center and it's
it
off,
won't be.
it won't be, and then people are like, "Oh, she didn't do a very good job of centering that." Where if you purposely off center it and it's meant to be off centered, then people don't have they can't say, "Oh, that doesn't look like it's very centered."
Right, right.
That's what I always find anyway.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have cut a hole here, and you need to have both of these pieces of paper with the same hole. So that's why you have to die cut them together versus trying to do it separate and line it up. So this is leftover. This can certainly be used on another card. You've got a piece of white back here too, but there's a lot of cards out on Pinterest that have the circle as a focal point on the card front. So now we've got this. So we're going to take our piece of vellum, and we need to put that in between the two layers. So I'm going to use my glue dots again.
That was so smart. When I saw you do that, I'm like, oh, that's so smart because nobody's seeing your vellum.
Right.
And one of the hard things with vellum for people a lot of times is, where am I supposed to glue it so people don't see the glue?
Right.
Well, here, it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter.
You're covering it.
So I'm going to put my glue dots close around the center hole, the circular opening. I'm getting glue dots all over myself here.
Occupational hazard.
My goodness. All right, so a couple more here so that we've got a good seal here. And I think one more, and that'll take care of that. And then we just set that vellum down in place and press in place. And then we go back to our DSP and we are going to line that up and glue it down. So we will quick do that.
So many good tips that you're giving everybody for making something like this.
Well, if we can get the glue started.
If you can't, I got one sitting right up there. Or I can
Come on.
give you a little.
Thought it was a brand new bottle.
Need a pin?
Oh, wow. She is on
Johnny on the spot here.
Are on it. How to unplug a glue.
Yeah. Happens all the time, right?
Yeah.
Just gotta get that little booger that's
I
in there
know.
out. Once you get the booger out, then it goes.
Sometimes I just squeeze until it pops. So
if I did that, Jay, I would have glue over my whole desk.
Oh. So I'm lining up my center circle and I'm lining up my edges so that I've got an even margin all the way around. And we've got the card front almost done.
So pretty.
So again, this is going to be an easel card. So we're going to want it to set up like this. Whoops. Oh, we have to put our silver on. So we're going to now take that largest die from the Stylish Shapes and the next size down. So two circles, and we're going to put that on our glitter paper to create a ring. So when you're doing this one, it's going to be really important that you eyeball this as best as you can and then tape it in place with some kind of a low tack tape. One piece. I've got it pre-done, but just like that. And then you can run it through your cut and emboss machine. And of course, by the magic of TV,
we love saying that, don't we?
I have that done. So this is what you get. Again, you've got a leftover piece that would be great for cutting out smaller pieces. So don't throw this away. So this piece is going to go on the inside of the circle.
Oh, it looks so awesome already.
So this was a piece or one of the steps that I changed because when I did it originally, I used gold foil. Mm-hmm. And I looked at that paper and it was like, boy, this silver would look really pretty. And I actually like the silver better. So we're going to do the same thing with some glue dots because I don't want to use any glue and get anything messed up here. So
it's so funny when I did like a fundraiser where I had some little girls that I was doing cards with. They were in like preschool and kindergarten. And I brought liquid glue. And we were like, after the first project, I kept saying, less is best. Yes. You know, and all this kind of stuff. To them, they could not figure it out. So after the first project, I'm like, oh, we're using glue dots for the rest of the project. Because I can control glue dots. I can't control liquid glue with little kindergartners.
So I've got glue dots ringed around and I am just checking to make the ones that are overhanging the edge. I'm just folding them in a little bit.
Just fold it in on itself.
Yeah. So, and then I press that down and that is good to go. Then I'm going to take my scraps of white and navy blue and I'm going to use the dies and I'm going to cut out the manger scene. If you've not used this yet or seen this in action, it is stunning. So I need a blue one and I need a white one. So, and again, magic of TV, those are done. So I have two sets. And the reason I have two is that we're going to just do a little bit of a shadow. So I'm going to put the navy over the top of the white so that we've got a shadow effect. And again, we're going to use the glue dots because there are holes and creases in this die that if you use glue, liquid glue, you're going to be in a heap of trouble. It's going to seep right through those. So, um, so I'm going to flip over my blue one.
Such great pointers you're giving everyone from the experience that you
Yeah.
learned with,
Yep.
working
I
with us,
learned.
right?
Yep.
Jay made a beautiful display for a demonstrator camp, which she did this video. She did a video to show everybody how to make it as well. But she had a display of all kinds of cards using this, and you did a sampler too, didn't you?
Yep. I did a
With it,
sampler. Yep.
just absolutely gorgeous. So when I saw this, I was like, Jay, do you think you could come to one of my lives and demonstrate this? Because several of you have been asking, when are you going to do something with the nativity? And we did one card a
Okay.
few weeks ago, maybe over a month ago already. And I said I would do more. So,
Yeah.
hi, Patty Skiba.
Patty.
Patty's on there. Betty jumped on. We got a couple people that have jumped on since you started. So,
Okay.
Patty's another friend that I made through stamping. And then come to find out she lives just a couple miles from me.
Okay, so here you've got then your two layers of the nativity scene, just offset a little bit to give that shadowing effect. And now we're going to attach that to the front of the card, like so. And I'm going to use glue dots again. I went through, I think, 2 rolls of glue dots working on my display for that retreat.
Because they were just easier to use.
They are. Okay, let's go. So I am actually going to do this card for my card class on Monday up in Tomahawk. So I live, for those of you that don't know, I live up in the North Woods, but I was a Valley resident for 40 years before we retired up north.
And your sister and your mom still live down
Yep,
here.
my sister and my mom live down here, so I'm down here fairly frequently. All right, so that is in place. So the card front, not quite done. We still need a star. So that's the other part of this suite is the star dies and the what's it called here? Stars at Night stamp set. So the stamp set and the dies. So lots of different star options here, and I like this one that looks to me more like the North Star. And so again, I have pre-cut that. And well, let me get that right back on the magnet so I don't lose it.
I know, right?
Oh,
I'm notorious for that. And then my stamp room is a mess, and I'm like,
I know.
where is that die? I'm missing it.
I lost the camel die for like a week.
Oh
And I
no.
was like, no, I don't want to have to buy another set.
I know. I'm always like, if I would just keep it clean, I wouldn't waste as much time looking for things as I do half the time I'm
Whoa,
looking for
how'd
things.
that get crooked? Okay, shift that back down. You know what? I really want that more centered. Let's see if we can get it up. Yes, we can. Hang tight, people.
What?
Oh, you know
Lila,
what?
you guys are hearing Lila. Jay's got her baby here too, Bailey. Come here, Bailey.
You know what, Sarah? I put glue dots on that silver, and all I had to do was peel it off. Duh.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Duh.
I forgot too. It has backing on it and it has glue, so you could just
Well,
peel
you know
the
what?
backing right off.
Let's see. It's
Show
coming
them.
off.
Look at there you
It
go.
just came right off. So let me just pull this out of the way. There's always a way to fix.
Sometimes I find like when I'm on a live camera, I lose my mind Like, I can't remember the name of a color. I can't remember the name of a stamp set. I can't remember that
Yeah,
there's glue on the back of the paper that I'm using.
yeah.
I've done that before too.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I made this so much more difficult and I didn't need to do that. So silly, silly. Yes, my little pup is here with me too. So the dogs are having a dog date.
Yeah. Lila's
Bailey came,
entertaining Bailey.
yep, and Bailey came in and immediately helped herself to Lila's food dish. You'd think I didn't feed her this morning. Ooh, this is new stuff, Mama.
Yes. Homemade stuff.
Yeah, homemade. So now I got to get that. So I'm just trying to peel up these glue dots. So way to go on a live demo here.
Oh, that's all right.
We got a mess to clean up. Okay,
That's all right.
so let's go
Just
back.
grab some of this from you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll go back and use the sticky. Okay, now I'm going to reposition this so that the Joseph and Mary are a little bit more in the center. And then
Linda said that she lives close to Coleman.
I don't know where that is. I don't know where that is. Oh, so then we're going to put that star, maybe about here.
Right over baby Jesus.
Yeah, and then I'm going to grab some bling. So because I'm using the silver glitter paper, I'm not going to use the star trinkets that come as part of the set or the collection. So
those are gold.
Because they're gold. Yep. So we'll just go ahead and put a rhinestone in the middle. So
Very pretty.
All right. So that's your card front. Now I have to remember which one I'm doing here. All right. So now this piece of navy blue is going to go on this edge or this flap. So it'll set up, it's kind of hard to see, but it'll set up like that as an easel card. So, but before I put that down, I'm going to put some ribbon on it.
Which ribbon are we
There we go.
Got it?
Yeah. So I'm going to use two different ribbons. I don't even know what the names of these are, but this is
a dual pack, right?
I don't.
Oh no, not that one.
This one is. This is
ribbon dual combo.
Yep.
Is the other one, yeah.
Ribbon dual combo comes in, has a silver ribbon and a gold ribbon, and then this is the ribbon that I think comes with the meadow set, whatever that's called, meadow.
Yeah.
So I'm going to. When I do my ribbons and I wrap them around the back, because I'm going to just lay this ribbon flat. I'm not tying a bow. So I'm just going to put some tear and tape on the piece of navy.
Tear and tape is another thing that's so nice, right?
Yep, yep.
So easy. You can control it so much better than you can.
Yeah. And it works really well with securing the ribbons in place.
Yeah. 3D projects are great for that
absolutely. Too. It lasts so much. It holds together. Not real forgiving once you put it in place.
Right.
But so I'm going to just wrap that ribbon and get my trusty ribbon scissors.
Patty, happy 65th birthday, girl. Oh my goodness, you're going to Nashville.
Yes. She's taking a trip. Yeah.
Weren't you just no, that was in Dallas. You were with your daughter, not Nashville.
All right, so I have one piece of ribbon on here and it's a little crooked, so let me adjust.
Lila, leave Jay alone.
Oh, she's fine. All right, and then I'm going to put this, I'm going to lay the silver right over the top of it. So another piece of tear and tape. So Patty, how far are you? Did you leave at the crack of dawn or before dawn? Probably.
What a fun place to spend your 65th birthday.
I don't know. It's going to get a little wild down there. All right. So, nope, this ribbon is not two-sided, this silver. It kind of wraps to the back, and then there's a real thin white area.
Yep.
So you got to kind of pay attention to what you're doing.
I agree.
All right, and we'll snip that off. And I'm going to put one more piece of tear and tape for my ribbon sandwich, as I learned from Christine, those of you who follow her. All right, so my ribbons are in place and it looks like such. So now it's ready to go on here. And now I can just glue this. And if I take off the tear and tape,
it'll make sure that it stays there.
Yeah. We'll do that. And we'll do this. Okay. Got the right side. And again, this is just going to get centered on this flap and it's down. So the last thing we need to do is create the piece that's going to hold it up as an easel. So we're going to stamp. We have just one stamp piece to do. So I have a piece this big, but I don't think we're not going to have it quite that big. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because otherwise you cover your whole ribbon.
Right. So, I like to have, on this one, it doesn't really work to have a stamp that has multiple lines. So you kind of need a singular line. So I was looking at my stamp sets from the catalog to try and come up with something. So the Season's Greetings is the one that I used initially, but as I had said at the retreat, I'm not a Season's Greetings type of person. I would just as soon say Merry Christmas. This one, you could use the Joy and Peace. That would work.
Come here.
You could use in the Stars at Night, you could use the Celebrating the Magic of the Season. But I went back to the Ringed with Nature set that is in the annual catalog. This was in the mini catalog last year because it just has a plain Merry Christmas. So that's what I have to stamp. Whoops. So I'm going to use navy blue or Night of Navy. And we'll just stamp that. And I'm going to, let's close this up.
Right.
Yeah.
Before
I have a disaster.
Yeah, right. Front of the card or your hands or anything. That's how
Yes.
Seems like always the darkest colors too, right?
Yeah.
Like the
or
reds
the red.
And
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's still a little thicker than I would like. So I'm going to try and trim it down. Wish me luck.
You'll do great. I do that all the time because sometimes it's easier to stamp on something that's a little thicker and then cut it down after than trying to get it on a really thin little piece of paper.
Okay, so far so good.
Looks good.
I think that looks fine.
Yeah.
Just that little bit. So this is going to come over here and I'm going to pop this up. Do you pop when you're totaling an easel? Do you do double dimensions or single?
It's so funny you should say that. If
this was not planned.
I very seldom double pop, but I double pop when I have something that's going over the top of something that was already raised, like two things were raised on dimensionals. So
Yeah.
today mine is going to be double
Oh.
popped because I have a tag that's popped and something else that's on the tag popped, and then I'm putting the greeting over the top of it. So it
Okay.
needed a double pop. Otherwise, it was.
I have not been double popping this, but I've been thinking about whether or not I need to do that. But you know what? Before I put that down, I'm going to take a couple more glue dots and I'm just going to go underneath this ribbon to help hold it in place. Since I'm going to go right over the top of it. Usually I try and straddle the ribbon, but I can't do that on this one.
No.
So I'm going to go single.
Everybody's saying happy birthday to Patty.
Woohoo!
Hi, Carol.
Okay.
Melanie's fussy cutting while she's watching. And that's something I would do while I'm fussy cutting too, right?
Yeah.
Love fussy cutting.
All right. So now I'm going to do one more burnish on this so that we've got a good crease. That'll help it stand up because now the magic happens. So because we use the vellum to create a luminary effect. So you take a bulb, not real gas flame or not a real flame, but a luminary, and then this is your card or your display piece.
Look at how pretty that is.
So it looks gorgeous on a mantle. It's yeah, the luminary just makes it. So so that's the one that I did using the Oh Holy Night suite. I've got orders for those. People are like, I want one. Actually, I have to go to Hobby Lobby and get some more of these. So, but I was playing with it because I wanted to show the versatility of the design. And so I started playing with.
You got an absolutely gorgeous. Look at that.
So I did the same thing with the All About Autumn. I need to do something here, probably hello. And then for my message, a much bigger tag, narrower ribbon. And I use the backside of this paper here rather than a DSP or rather than a cardstock layer. And I did Blessed Beyond Measure.
What a nice Thanksgiving card.
Exactly. Where's my light? So there you have a fall luminary. And then I did one with
gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous
with the
a
pumpkin.
lot of hearts.
With the pumpkin gathered together, again thinking Thanksgiving. And these pumpkins are from last year, from the Pretty Pumpkin, I think. And I used old foil. I used copper foil because I didn't like how the gold looked.
So pretty, Jay.
So a couple more uses.
Isn't she talented?
So pick your DSP and go for it.
You could do anything with that.
Yes.
I could think even a baby one would be kind of cool to do.
Yeah,
you know, something
almost a nightlight
thing. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So yeah, so
Isn't
that's
that awesome? I'm
so
happy you came.
Does anybody have any questions?
No questions
No
up there.
Questions. I just need to
just a lot of gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, lovely autumn one too. So talented, right?
Oh.
Thank you so much for
welcome.
doing that.
Thank you
them.
for and happy World
and
Card Making Day.
Yeah, today is World Card Making Day. I kind of missed the boat on that a little bit without saying it at the beginning. Stampin' Up! Has a big thing today and online where you can be stamping with them.
Yes.
And here Jay is with me instead. But is that later? What time does that start?
Later. 4?
Yeah, it's later. I think it's at 4:00 our time is right.
Think so.
Yep.
Right.
Tons of talent, beautiful card, beautiful, lots of. You'll have to go back and read all those comments afterwards, Jay, because everybody's just loving it. So, I am going to be on my card that I'm doing. Mine's going to be kind of a, oh, that's kind of
Oh,
boring
stop. No, I don't
after
think
that.
so.
But like I said, the Deck the Halls with ink and paper that I'm offering for my Christmas class is going to be featuring these stamp set. Well, it really is featured around the designer series paper. Like I said, you will get a half a pack of the designer series paper and a quarter pack of the specialty paper that has some gold foils and stuff in it. But these are the stamp sets and the dies that we'll be using for most of them. I also partnered it today with the tailor-made tags. So these dies that are in here, you've got some labels, you have some greenery, you have all kinds of things. You can see a lot of the stamps are out because I'm playing with it to finish making all of the projects. And then here we've got also another label, and we're going to be using this right here along with some of the stamps in the card that I'm doing today. My inspiration for my card came from this card that I made when I was in Lansing, and this uses the very cute stamp set. This is from that stamp set, and I think the greeting is from there too. But it had these tags, and it used an embossing folder underneath. And I decided I liked that layout, and so we were going to use that layout. This is what I do when I'm kind of starting to craft. So I had cut all of these things when I was making the little sampler that we were making. I ended up cutting all these things because I didn't know what I wanted to use. So I kind of pulled some of this stuff out today because I didn't make my card until today. Kind of nice in that we were going at 12:30 while the ladies were stamping this morning. I was designing.
Yeah.
But we are going to be modeling this card with a Christmas card using the Joy, I think it's called Joy of Noel.
Are those the tag dies or are
These
those
are the tailor-made tags.
tailor-made tags? Okay,
Yep,
that's what I
tailor-made
thought.
tags. It's the largest one, and it's the one with the little fancier top.
Mhm.
So what I did was I started with a card base that is real red, and this is just 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. It's just going to be your normal folding card, no fun fold. Jay like went over the top with that today for you, so I thought I'm going to go simple with mine because she went.
I was
Um,
wrong.
no, you were
Okay,
awesome.
fine.
4 by 5 1/4, and this is shaded spruce. So I'm doing more of like the traditional Christmas. I actually am in a swap, and get this one. The swap is whimsical or traditional, and I'm like, isn't
Oh,
that like then anything? Because
anything.
isn't
Yeah,
something either
yeah.
traditional or it's whimsical? And so I asked the lady, and she goes, "Yeah, I guess it is kind of anything." 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and that's some of the designer paper. What's cool about this designer paper is you have like one side can be really, really busy like this, and then the back side is sort of like the wood grains, or there's some check, like the what do you call that?
Buffalo check.
Buffalo
Buffalo
check.
plaid.
Yep, buffalo plaid. It's
Yeah.
got red and green buffalo plaid. So this is just an eighth of an inch smaller. And then I did one of the tags with the specialty paper, so you can see that gold foil in there. And then this is just some of the designer paper. It just has this red kind of designer stuff. So I cut one of the tags with that. I have a 4 by 5 1/4 that's going to be for the inside of my card. I already stamped this image already and die cut it, but we'll color it together. We're going to be using that on our card. And then I have a 3/4 inch strip of just some basic white. And this is way longer than I need in case I mess up when I'm stamping. I can always stamp it somewhere else. So let's bring in our stuff that we're going to be using. See, now that you're not up here, Lila's not bothering you at all. It was just when you were on the camera, Jay, that Lila was going around her legs and wanting to jump up on her. And I'm sitting here trying to keep her from jumping up on Jay.
No
All right,
problem.
I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. I've got some shaded spruce, and I'm going to use Making Spirits Bright for the outside of this card. So I'm going to go ahead and try to center this. It's not being able to look on top of it. I was
Oh,
looking,
I
do the
like that.
Badgers play
They're on
on
right now.
TV or are they just
No,
on
well,
that
they're on
Peacock?
Peacock.
You got to have a
They're just
streaming service.
streaming. I had it on the radio in the car.
Crazy.
I know.
You
Homecoming.
got to have so many different streaming
Yeah.
services to watch a game. That's crazy, crazy,
Well, that's
crazy.
like the Packer game last week. You had to have Amazon Prime to see it.
Yes.
It's like,
Well, I thought they played it on CBS too or something.
oh, maybe they did down in this market. We
Oh, you
didn't have it at
didn't
my
up
house.
there by
We had to
you.
have Amazon Prime.
Yeah, we had it on one of the channels, picked it up, I think, on
Oh,
top of
okay.
that. So I did the Christmas in the green in the shaded spruce. And then they've got different things. So there's like Christmas wishes, Happy Christmas. I decided to go with the traditional Merry Christmas. So I'm just going to put that Merry over the top so I could use two different colors with my greeting. And then I'm going to, I needed to have a scrap. Let's see if I have a scrap sitting over here somewhere. Here we go. Just anything. I forgot to put my grid paper down before, so I'm just going to put this on here so I don't. I'm just going to put a little bit of greenery in the corner of this. And I'm going to go like that. And I'm just going to ink it again just to add a little bit of green to the corner. That's all I wanted to do. All right, that is all I need to do for stamping. So let's get that out of the way. And we'll do a little bit of coloring. So I had this smaller swag that I wanted to use. I was kind of playing around with some of the colors. I decided I wanted to do all of the little berries in the light colored cherry cobbler. It didn't pay to use both light and dark. There really wasn't anything that I felt I needed to shade. Plus, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, these are called Stampin' Blends. I'm not really a good blender. I always have to look at what somebody else did because it's hard for me to know where to shade things darker, where to have them lighter, where the shadow would be and stuff. And so with these leaves, it does have like the person who designed them does have like the line in the middle. But to be honest with you, these are so small that it was hard. By the time I put that line in, I felt like the whole thing was almost colored in. So what I decided to do with my Stampin' Blends instead is I decided to do one shape of the leaf in one shade of the shaded spruce. So that's in my dark. And then my lighter one is going to be more of these kind of like, are those holly? I don't know what
Yes.
those are called, like
Yeah, I think they're holly leaves.
holly leaves or whatever. So I'm going to start with the darker one and I'm going to do all of these kind of rounded leaves in that color just to add some color to this. Now, if you're a person who loves to color, I love to color. I can't say that I love to color live like I'm doing right now because I feel like you're all sitting there watching me color. But I love to just like be sitting even in my recliner and have the stuff be on like a
Yes. While you're watching
clipboard and I'm
TV.
doing it while I'm watching TV and it's just kind of like no brain work, right? And it's just so fun to see an image kind of come to life with the color that you're adding to it.
And it goes so much quicker than you think it's going to.
It does. Okay, so I did all of the ones that were kind of shaped like that in that darker green. Now I'm going to take, it's still shaded spruce, but I'm going to take the lighter one of that. And it doesn't look like it's that much difference, but I knew that it would just be a little bit off. And I'm going to do all of the other little branches or little holly leaves. Let's see, I got one down here. And these are kind of so small that you really, I find that I'm just kind of doing like little dots in some of them to fill in the area to get it all colored. That one's a little bit bigger, so I can actually do some coloring on that one. And I think I got all of them. So that's what that looks like. All right. And then there were these greeneries that were in here, and I decided I was just going to take my old olive. This is the lighter old olive, and I'm just going to lightly go over those just to add. There was a little bit of that shade in the designer paper that I was using. So I decided I just wanted to add a little bit of that. So it wasn't just these black leaves, and that there was just a little bit of green color in with them. And I'm just following where the artist had designed the stamp, just to add a little bit of that other shade of green in there.
So pretty.
Okay, so that's all that we needed for that. We're ready to put our card together. So this is our inside. Now, if you wanted to, you could put some of the designer paper on the inside. I decided just putting that little bit of greenery seemed like it was enough for the inside. Right. And it kind of pops because of the red background and not being the same color. It kind of stands out a little bit. All right, and then we're going to layer this on that green. I just loved this paper. I felt when I was trying to decide what suite I was going to use last year for my Christmas class, we used the candy cane suite, all the stuff that had the candy cane in. And I loved the Oh Holy Night, and I thought of that. I just felt like this was so like this is traditional Christmas to
Yes.
me. And I just felt that there might be more people that felt a calling to the traditional Laura, the Oh Holy Night is the true meaning of Christmas, which is true, but you're in with more navies and coppers and things like that. I decided I was going to go with more of the colors than I was the meaning of Christmas, I guess. But I'm right there with you, Jay. I prefer a Merry Christmas to a season's greetings.
Yeah.
Um, I get it that not everybody celebrates Christmas,
Right.
the true meaning of Christmas. But if my card is going to be, if that's what I'm sending it for, I want it to be Christmas. So
And if I knew that the person I was sending it to
was not,
was
then you
not,
would do
yeah,
something
then I would,
different. Yep, I
yeah,
agree
I would.
100%. I'm the same way. Okay, these tags were just going to, just like with this one, where they kind of overlapped each other, I'm just going to have them overlap each other a little bit. I'm going to match up the circle in there. And I'm just going to flip this over and I'm going to throw just a little bit of glue.
Are you playing?
And the dogs, I think, are
They're
playing.
playing.
They're having fun. I said to Jay, this is kind of a good test to see, like I've been thinking about getting maybe another dog, but honestly, Lila is spoiled and only, with not having anybody else in the house, she's used to having all of my attention. I don't know what she would do if she didn't have all my attention. Um, this is now, all of this is white and this is very vanilla, but I felt I could get away with it because there were some little poinsettia things in here that had a little bit of, it looked like a gold and almost a off-white with it. So um, they're having fun.
They are.
They're just having a little bit of fun back here. So if you hear
If you
dogs, that's
hear the
it.
pitter patter.
Pitter patter of little dog, little. And then I loved how when we did this, it was the iridescent ribbon, and then we just tied it with that bow. So I'm using some of our, I think this is called Essentials trim, maybe. It comes in gold and silver in one pack. And I'm just going to wrap this around here. Tie off, cut off here. That should be plenty. Love tying bows on
Oh
live
yeah.
TV. It's so much
You
fun, or
notice
live
I didn't
video.
do that.
No, you just made a card that was like really, really hard. So I wouldn't
No,
put yourself
it's
down
not
or
a hard
anything like
card.
that.
It's not a hard
It's
card.
not hard.
No.
It wasn't hard, but it's beautiful. All right, I'm gonna tie this in a knot before I tie my bow because it's a little bit thinner. There we go. All right, and then we'll see if I can get a bow here. I'm lucky I don't have those fancy nails like Jay does. Hers are so pretty. Mine are pretty ugly. Hers are pretty. Mine are pretty ugly. All right, so we'll go ahead and trim these a little bit. I don't know if I even have my ribbon scissors here. I don't even know if I have one near me because I think this is actually a pretty good one. It's doing a pretty good job. There we go. Just cut it off a little bit. Whoops. There goes the ribbon all the way across the room.
Are you done with it?
I am. Oh, thank you. See, I got an extra hand today. Okay, so this is just good. Yeah, my Vanna. Vanna's been sick the last few days on Wheel of Fortune on our channels. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this up on dimensionals because I can. This card has a lot of dimension because it doesn't have a lot of, like putsy stuff, but it's got some dimension. All right, and that's just going to, I'm going to have it go a little bit more like that. Might have to trim those up just a little bit yet, but let's see here. There we go. Maybe just a little bit more so they're not hanging off the edge of the card. There we go. And then this I also put up on dimensional. So this is kind of like the little tree that's in there. I decided that holly, that little greenery looked nice coming down there. That's replacing the tree. This is also going up on dimensionals. So when Jay was talking about, do you double stack your dimensionals? I normally don't, but with this, I found that when I went to go put the label, this is going to be my label coming across the top, this is double stacked.
Sure.
So when it was hanging off the edge, it was kind of like it was unbalanced a little bit. So I felt like it needed not so much on this side, because this side's going to be right on here, which is just a single one. It's up, raised up like this. But this one over here needs a double because this layer's on dimensionals and that layer's on dimensionals. So what we mean by double stacking is on this side, I'm going to put one dimensional down and I'm going to take that off and I'm going to put another dimensional right over the top of it and double stack them to make it a little higher. The other side only needs the one because it wasn't hanging off the edge. Okay, it was on here where this one's on this, going to be on the designer paper. Okay, and there is our card, Making Spirits Bright. Merry Christmas. And it does just need a little bit of bling. So these pearls, we did these last week on the card that I had. I think we used the green ones maybe. This is with the Garden Walk set. I'm going to use these gold ones. And I'm just going to start with a big one. Put that there. I'll put one up there. Well, maybe just really add a little bit on there.
Gold ribbon then.
Yeah, it kind of ties in that gold ribbon, the gold that's in this designer paper, and it just kind of ties all of that together.
I can't believe you just designed that this morning while
I
the
did.
gals were here.
I did. They were here, and I was just like pulling all these things together, and then I'm like, okay, nothing's coming together, so I just need a design. I need a layout. And so I was going through all my cards and I came across this one. I'm like, okay, that's going to be my layout. And this is what I came up with. So it's similar, but yet you wouldn't say that, oh gosh, she got that card from there, because this used a background of an embossing folder. I used designer paper. This was like a white tag. I didn't bring the white into it because I used two designer papers. So that is my fun. Well, you go right ahead, Jay. I think I'm going to be casing your luminaries because they're absolutely gorgeous.
So I'm going to leave this one with you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, I'm going to come back to, here we are. There's Jay. She was looking at the side around all of our things. So thank you so much for joining us today. I know it was a weird time at 12:30. Hopefully you got a lunch break in while you were sitting and watching us. Some of you were doing some fussy cutting and other things. But I wanted to show off the paper that we're going to be using for my Christmas. I also wanted you to see that beautiful luminary, a great idea for making a wow card that you could send to the people that you want. Here's Lila, for those of you that haven't. Come here. Do you want to see the For those of you who haven't met Here she is. She's a big girl, but this is the Lila I keep talking about. You finally made it to a YouTube live, Lila. And Jay will bring
No,
Bailey.
she's
Bailey
running.
took off, so
Yeah.
Bailey doesn't want to be on the camera. So Lila loves to give hugs. She puts her head right on, puts it off to the side along your waist. So anyhow, thank you so much for joining me. I will be back next week at my normal time of 8:30. I also wanted to announce that in 2 weeks from today, I'll have another guest stamper. Lisa Nealon is coming. She did a display for Christine using the Berry Cute, and she's going to pick out one of her favorite projects from that, and she's going to demonstrate it on the live. For those of you that thought that the bear punch, that polar bear punch was so cute, she had a lot of really cute ideas as well. And so, thank you so much for being here today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I'm so excited that you're here, and hopefully you'll want to come back.
Absolutely.
You guys want her back?
No.
I want her back. She's got some really cool ideas. So thank you so much for joining us today, and have a great weekend. I hope that we've inspired you to go out and be creative on this World Card Making Day, and just to make somebody's day. So my goal is to make a couple of cards that I can send out on Monday.
And get them in the mail.
Yes.
No hoarding of cards.
Yes, I have way too many back
know,
there.
I
That's
do
why I'm
too.
going to have to get some in the mail. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you again next week.